Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at some more issues regarding assembly. The first thing I wanted to point out is about the exercise files. Be sure you navigate to this folder. Also, be sure you either select all files. A lot of times this tool is going to be set on parts, and I go look around for Stirling cycle engine and I don't find it because it's a part drawing. Either select assembly or all files. So there's the assemblies, and it's Stirling engine, which is the one we want to start with. I'm going to go ahead and pause here because at this point we are going to do some mating, and you guys already know how to do that, so I'm going to pause the video. Now I've just dropped the sub-assembly into the main assembly, and I just want to show a few things. Now here's the, let's see, is it the base plate that I want? I don't think it's the base plate. There it is. So we can, if you have a component that gets in the way of you being able to visualize stuff, you can hide it, which I just did. Next thing is, these are some tips and tricks we're going through. It's not anything critical to making assembly, it's just tips and tricks. Okay, I see a dimension. I can double click on the axle, get its dimension. 2 dimensions, one of them goes off to Never Never Land. This one, I can click on it and it gives me a dialog that says what it is. I can change it. So that's something I wanted to show. So you can change objects in the middle of the an assembly. The measure tool, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay. Now, I can go to the Evaluate tab. A lot of times we want to measure stuff. Measure. XYZ, which is fine. Click on whatever, the one piece that you want to measure from. Rotate, click on the second face, in this case the back face of the bushing, and you get a bunch of dialogue. Now I'm going to zoom in so we can see what we're doing, and these things can be moved around so that you can see easier what's going on. You can grab these dialog boxes that are sitting there, the dimension things, so you can see, and that's the whole purpose of it. Let's see, I want to grab it. Come on. Sometimes, like a lot of things in SolidWorks, you grab on something and sometimes it doesn't move, sometimes it does. So we have, it says 0 millimeters in the Y, which is kind of funky. Like, how in the world did I pick it so that I had no Y-axis variation? I just clicked 2 points at random, and it turned out to be 0. But that's okay. We don't care about it, frankly. We don't care about X either. The 2 points at random were off in the X dimension. From the 2 points that I was looking at, 14.32, so this is the distance between the 2 points. This is the normal distance. This is one that's of interest. Normal distance between the faces. That's probably what people would want to know. Same thing with DZ. Normal distance between the faces, because the Z-axis is normal to those 2 faces that I selected. So that's the face on this side and the face on this side. So that's the measure tool. And as soon as you rotate, everything collapses. So it's probably not a good idea. Okay, So we did the measure. Now, let's try doing some other things here. Let's get out of the measure tool. Oh, where's my mouse? There it is. Click out of the measure tool. Get back to a view that, there we go. And now, if I try moving this, I can't. You'll notice. If I try clicking and dragging on the wheel, I can't. What I've got to do is go over here, right click, and this icon, make subassembly flexible. So now this one ought to move. Yeah, it does. Oops, come on. Doesn't move real well. There it is. There it goes. And this one, I ought to turn the crank. It moves, but they move independently, you'll notice. They don't move together. So we have to do a multi-mate just like we did before to be able to move them together. And no, I'm sorry, you don't have to make a multi-mate. You can just do a regular old plain old mate. Plain old coincident mate between, say, this crank and this axle, because I've already multi-mated the axle to the collar to the wheel, so they'll all move together. Now if I just connect this crank and this axle, I'm set. I ought to be able to move it. And you already know how to do that, so I'm not going to show it again. I'm just going to go ahead and end the video.